Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today will be a short video. We are going to process some green beans. If you have followed along on our previous videos of the garden, you will know that we struggled with green beans this year. We had to plant several times before we ran into an issue of the green beans being a bad batch and they just never sprouted, they never grew. Luckily, I changed. We've always planted jade green beans. This year we went ahead and changed. After about the third time replanting, we decided to go ahead and change varieties. I bought some Blue Lake bush green beans and that's what we planted. They sprouted, they look great, very, very full. We are on the second picking so far of those green beans. And so today I thought I would bring you along and we are going to process them. Without any further waiting, let's get to getting these snapped apart and put into jars. Now it is complete personal preference whether you decide to snap the green beans or use a knife and cut the green beans. I feel I can go a little bit quicker cutting them with a knife than snapping them, but it kind of depends on the day and what I have going on at that time. The next thing you want to do is fill the jars. Now I will put green beans in the jar, take the funnel off, kind of give the jar a shake, mash the green beans down in there, and fill them a little bit further. You will then want to add hot boiling water and leave 1 inch of headspace at the top of the jar. Now that we have the beans cut or snapped, I raw pack the beans in the jars. If you refer to the Ball Canning and Preserving book, there's 2 different methods that you could use, raw pack or you can hot pack them. We've always just raw packed them, which means you will put the beans directly into the jars. Now I've got 5 quarts of green beans here. That's about what fits into the canner that we have. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. I use the Ball Preserving and Pickling salt. I keep a half a teaspoon in here. So we will just fill that up twice for each quart. If you're doing pints, you'll have half a teaspoon of salt per pint of green beans. For the quart, it is 1 teaspoon. The next thing I'm going to do before I put the lids on is make sure that the rim is clean and free of any debris or liquid. That will ensure that you have a good seal on your beans or whatever you're canning at the time. And now we're ready to put the lids and the rings on. These happen to be wide mouth. There is quite the shortage of regular mouth lids around. And we have some wide mouth on hand, so that's what we're using today. Make sure you're only doing this fingertip tight. If you over tighten, it will buckle the lid. I have seen that in a couple groups that I'm in. People will show pictures where the lid has like buckled up, not a good seal. And what happened was the ring was over tightened. So you just want to do it fingertip tight. Okay, we've got the 5 jars. I'm going to place them down into the canner I have. As always, refer to your specific canner on what you can place in it and how much liquid to put into your canner. The one that we have, we add 2 quarts of water to the canner. And we're ready to go. You will process the green beans at 10 pounds of pressure. If you're doing pints, you're gonna do 10 pounds of pressure for 20 minutes. Quarts, you're gonna do 10 pounds of pressure for 25 minutes. Looking at our particular model of pressure canner, we're right at the 10-pound mark. To keep it at that mark, we're just going to adjust the fire below and keep it at that range for 25 minutes. we are done for the day. If you have followed along, you know the struggles that we had this year with growing our green beans. So we were very late into the season, into the process of growing and harvesting the green beans. Unfortunately, there's still blooms on the plants, but I don't know that we'll be able to harvest anymore and process them just because it's fixing to get kind of crazy. And we don't know when little one might be coming. But we are very fortunate and thankful to have put up 26 quarts of green beans and 14 pints of green beans this year. I call that a success amongst all of the other failures or struggles you could say that we've had along the way, but very, very excited and thankful for what we were able to put up. We will enjoy this for sure this winter and in the coming year. We're wrapping up canning season. I hope the videos that we have put together have been helpful, maybe have inspired you. If not for this year, maybe next year, years to come. If you're finding these videos out of season, go ahead and hit subscribe, save the videos for next year. You can always refer back to them and follow along, use them in your gardening endeavors. And until next time, take care and we wish you well.